Hey everybody, Austin here again, this time with an unboxing video. Today it's the Framemeister, the XRGB Mini, a compact upscaler unit, according to the actual device itself. I ordered this from Solaris, Japan, and honestly, if you asked me a couple of years ago if I would own one of these devices, I would have told you outright, flat out, no. My old podcast co-host always bugged me about this device and kind of rubbed it in my face that he had one. But I was like, yeah, whatever, my video quality's fine. But lately I've been becoming a little unsatisfied with the quality of my video capture, be it both on Twitch and on YouTube. And so what I did back in February, I started a donation fund drive to basically build up funds to get a XRGB Mini Framemeister. And thanks to the kind-hearted folks that watch my Twitch stream, we now have a XRGB Mini Framemeister, which I will now be able to use for much higher quality streams and YouTube videos. So again, big shout out to everybody on Twitch that helped make this happen. You guys are going to really enjoy, I think, the quality of the content from here on out. So basically, this is a high quality upscaler. It basically converts your old video signals and converts them to an HDMI signal. It cleans up the video quality, and it's also got a wide variety of inputs, but I'll talk more about that in a little bit. So again, I ordered this from Solaris, Japan. The packaging wasn't bad overall. They did put it in a sort of a baggy mailer instead of like a box or something like that, but they did heavily wrap it in bubble wrap, and then both thick and thin bubble wrap. And so it worked. It got here, you know, minor dents on the side of the box. I don't know if that happened before or after packaging, mailing packaging. But here it is. We're cracking open the system right now. And it's not really a system. I'm just so used to getting video game systems in the mail. But the device does come with a nice hefty little instruction manual. From what I understand, you probably want to read through that. And then right here, we've got actually it's a vertical stand for the device, which is probably how you want to do it. I mean, you can set it horizontally, but much like a PlayStation 2, you could set it vertically, which actually saves a whole lot of space. I have it on the stand right now, and it actually snaps to it nice and neat, and it feels pretty firm inside the stand, which is pretty cool. This little white box here I'm pulling out right now is an AC adapter, and obviously that's going to be needed. So yeah, I mean, the XRGB Mini actually comes with pretty much just about everything you would need to get the device working out of the box. You know, you got your power, you've got your stand, you've got your device itself, and then you would basically just plug your video signals into the device. It takes RGB, it takes composite, S-video, it's got a HDMI in port. It's also got a D terminal, which is basically the Japanese version of component. And so yeah, it's got a lot of great stuff on here. It's even got a USB port on it. I guess that's probably for updating the firmware or something like that. It's also got a micro SD card slot on it, SD micro. So yeah, really neat little device, and here it is. I'm pulling it out of the wrapping. It's actually a super lightweight device, believe it or not. It feels actually lighter than my Elgato Game Capture HD. Although the Elgato is really light too. If you open it up, it actually has metal plates in it intentionally to weigh it down to make it feel higher quality, which the Framemeister probably doesn't have. But still, it's a really cool looking device. It actually would fit nicely with the PlayStation 2. It's got the same kind of ridges on it, which is pretty neat. And so yeah, if we open up this tray here, it actually reveals a couple of other things. The first one is actually a remote control. So you can actually control this thing via, I'm going to guess it's probably infrared, and just remote. And this right here is actually your Japanese RGB connection. So yeah, it comes with that. I also have a Euro RGB cable, a SCART connector. But the Japanese RGB connector is basically the same as the Euro SCART, except a pin or two has been changed, so you don't want to use a SCART cable on a Japanese RGB modded system. So that's your remote. Actually, funny thing about the remote is pretty much all the functions are in Japanese. So from what I understand, the remotes are not really necessary. This right here is a converter for the D terminal to standard component. So in Japan, apparently component is done via the D terminal port, which almost looks like a super mini VGA port, if you will, or like a super mini serial style. It's got that similar shape, although the pinout is totally different. So yeah, the D terminal cable to component, you actually had to order separate. It was like an extra $12 on the order, and one of my Twitch viewers and friends actually recommended that. So I've got several systems that can do component out of the box, but what's great about this thing is that while it does RGB, if you don't want to dump the money on RGB cables instantly, which I can't because that's going to be a lot of money, it does take S-video. Apparently the S-video signal is pretty solid on this thing, and of course it's got the component in thanks to the converter cable I got. So again, to everybody over at Twitch that helps make this thing happen, thank you so much for that. And people on YouTube, stay tuned. My next console Let's Plays, assuming this device works, I'm sure it does, will be through the XRGB Mini Framemeister. And I'm going to be doing a lot of experimentation to see what my existing hookups look like versus the old footage, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this thing looks. And I'm also looking forward to getting a lot of my consoles RGB modded, the ones that need to be modded, and RGB cables for the ones that are RGB compatible out of the box. So, but there you have it, guys, the XRGB Mini Framemeister. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll be back with some more Let's Plays sometime soon. Anybody new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up if you feel like it, or give it a thumbs down. I don't really care. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I will see you soon. Take care.